Hi everybody, my name is Pascal Philippe. I am the co-founder of Bali Ocean Days. Bali Ocean Days, that's an organization that cares about marine conservation and ocean protection, and we develop a series of events. We have an annual conference. The first edition has happened recently in January, for those who were there, in Intercontinental Jimbaran. And today we are proud to propose you a new program in cooperation with the Coral Triangle Center here in Sanur, the Coral Triangle Center Foundation, in partnership with our media partner, also Medro TV. We call it Bali Ocean Days podcast and talk show to highlight organizations that share the same value as we do, related to marine conservation, but not exclusively. We also highlight every organization that protects communities. And today we are particularly happy to welcome you, Michael, as Plastic Angels founder, because here in Bali you have taken a very specific mission, a mission that drives you to care about a community, about a hidden community, living in harsh conditions. In Bali, where we talk about the tropical dream, sometimes where we talk about fancy beaches and tourism industry, you care about a community of trash pickers, isn't it, Michael? Can you explain us about what drives you there to create this collective that you call Plastic Angels?
Sure. So I think from the start, it's important to clarify that Plastic Angels is actually not a charity. We are a collective of artists and philanthropists who came together to assist local NGOs, and most particularly two NGOs that are called Ragam and Bali Life Foundation. And our focus is indeed on this community of trash pickers, and most particularly their children.
Their children, yes. The children of Suwon.
That's right? Correct, yeah.
Yes, Michael. So you arrived in Bali a few years ago, and when you came, that was the first time you came on the island. What did you see first on the island? What impression you had when you arrived?
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. I think like a lot of people, I kind of ended up in Bali not really by choice. Like almost the island calling me or something like this. I would say it was just before the pandemic. And when the pandemic happened, I had a choice. Either, I go or I stay. I decided to stay, and I saw very quickly an increase of people taking action, bringing bags of rice all around Bali, etc. And I felt a call to join this effort. So I went all around the island, and I discovered parts of Bali that I didn't imagine, in places such as, Singaraja, like places that are actually much poorer than here. And I discovered actually a poverty that I didn't expect.
A poverty.
Oh, poverty, exactly,
that you
yeah.
Witnessed, yeah.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people, especially the ones who are new to Bali, expect this place to be a paradise. We have this image of the beautiful rice fields, the beaches, the temples, the beautiful culture, but we don't see this hidden poverty, which exists everywhere in the world, right? But I think especially in Bali, it is extremely hidden. So for me, it was a shock.
Hidden and in contrast with the postcards, images we have of the island.
Exactly. And I'm talking about a level of poverty where people are not able to feed their children. So it's not like, simple poverty. It's really extreme. And from there, because I'm actually a storyteller, I'm a filmmaker, I'm an artist, I decided, okay, how can I use my skills to actually join this effort?
That's a background that you had developed from in Europe in the previous years?
Yes, I studied like at classic French, Les Beaux-Arts, classic French school stuff. And then I've been experimenting with various forms of arts, but the latest years before coming to Bali, I've been mostly doing movies. And yeah, so I embarked on a journey to tell this story that I actually called the invisible people of Bali. You know, that's
The
one part.
invisible people
Yes.
of Bali,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Hidden poverty,
Right.
living in the harshest conditions.
Right. So that's how the whole project started, but also it started with the people that I met. And I want to mention most especially Nicolas, who is the founder of Ragam Foundation that I mentioned before.
Ragam Foundation.
Yes. So I met Nicolas quite quickly when I was started to have this project of telling these stories of hidden poverty. And I was blown away by the work of these people. So it's a soup kitchen, right? Ragam. Initially, they do other stuff, but it's mostly they are preparing between 500 to 1,000 meals every day.
Okay, catering goods. I mean, in large quantity.
Yes, with very little donations, like really with their hearts. It's a community, so people are coming on a benevolent every day to wrap the meals and prepare them. And yeah, I started to actually follow him particularly because I was fascinated. And him, even like he was born here, but he's half Dutch with also origin from Bali. So I thought very fascinating.
So you get in touch with this foundation because you can feel that they really are on the ground doing the real things.
Yes,
using the funds in a way that is
genuine
practical
charity that you could see like, okay, they are not, they are actually giving a lot of themselves to this. They have no financial interest, which is, when you think of charity, I think there's always this thing where we don't really know what's going on, right? It's like, okay, where is going the money? But here you can see the results. It's like, I follow them and I was going to those communities and seeing those children getting the meals.
So you have personally witnessed their work.
Yes. And one day, Nicolas tell me, okay, today we're going to Suwung.
Suwung.
Yes.
Where is that?
So Suwung is a landfill, right? This is Bali's biggest landfill. It's actually very interesting you ask the question because not a lot of people know where it is, which is crazy because this is big. We're talking about 35 hectares. This is actually a trash mountain.
35 hectares
35.
of landfill.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a mountain because the trash is coming every day and being piled by trucks. And it's close to 40 meters high now. So it took me there. And yeah, it took me there to bring food to...
But Michael, this is only, we're talking about that, this is only 5 kilometers away from where we are talking today.
Right.
And people are not necessarily aware. Sometimes there is a stench, we know that, along the bypass.
Yes. No, it's nuts because it's like you said, it's in between Nusa Dua with all of those 5-star hotels that cost, I don't know, $300 or $400 a night, and then you have like of course Sanur with all the fancy restaurants, and this thing is in the middle, but it's kind of pushed just well enough for not being seen, but sometimes smell when you pass by. So yeah, another shock to me. And
then Michael, you basically you have discovered that there is a population living there. This is what you have discovered?
So Nicolas is bringing every day, Nicolas and his team Ragam, it's not one guy.
The Ragam, yeah.
Ragam Foundation, right? They are bringing meals to a community of trash pickers. So
pickers.
Yeah, we have actually a slum at the foot of the mountain where we have about 400 families who are trash pickers.
Nowadays, 400 families.
Yes, it comes and go. They mostly come from outside of Bali. Many of them came here to seek work, especially during the pandemic where there was no work, and they heard, oh, there is this big landfill where there is work, and they all came here, and they came with their youngest kids.
So they come from outer islands of Indonesia?
Yeah, mostly, Java, Borneo, these kind of islands. Bali was touched harshly with pandemic, but those islands have already a lot of poverty.
But with the awareness that they would become trash pickers?
They come here by choice, yeah.
By choice, you
right,
say.
for sure. And I think that's also something, I always want to say trash picker is not a bad job. It's like the people who are in trucks picking the trash in the streets. We need that. And we need
It's
landfills.
essential.
So we are not really here to say, oh, this place is bad, these people are living in like a job that is hard, even if it's true, but we are here to just try to see the life conditions in which they are, and I'll detail a bit later if you want.
There's no waste treatment without them. They are essential part.
They are the biggest plastic recycler on the island, there's no doubt. I mean, we have 400 families, very often the father and the mother both works on the field. They pick up to, I mean, in average, about 30 to 50 kilos a day of plastic. Imagine that, huh? So some of them work up to 16 hours a day. So they contribute to have less plastic. I know it's already in the landfill, but still, the landfill being so close to the mangrove, it's getting closer to the mangrove every day, right? So we need to make sure.
And then, Michael, what they pick every day, where does it goes? What are the result of the trash picking?
Right. So, I mean, they mostly pick valuable, we're talking plastic here, but also glass or cardboard, you know.
Recyclable materials.
Exactly. But the most valuable would be usually hard plastics, which are the ones that you can really recycle, right? So that's why it's quite intense also to see the conditions of how they live and work, because they have to hurry to pick the good plastic, right? So, for example, they have to get close to machines. It's a quite intense work. Although Plastic Angels right now, we are not focusing on the parents. We are focusing on the children.
You're focusing on the children.
Yes, of course.
The kids of Suwon, you said, yeah? So this is, you've seen them, you've seen all those families, and you say, I want to do something for them.
Yeah. Actually, maybe I would like to show you a few images, because, you know, images are strong enough words. So maybe we can slide a little bit here. So, I mean, you'll see a bit more, but like this is like the size of the mountain. And you see, like, this is Eggy, a little boy, he's 7 years old. And he's one of the last kids who are still on the mountain every single day. And I'll tell you a bit more about that, right? Then you can, go ahead. Here we have a bit of aerial thoughts. You have to know, this is the mangrove in the background, right? You have to realize that on the right, where you see grass, this is also trash that's actually been covered with soil, which of course didn't help with the methane emanations, but this is huge, 35 hectares, right? Next one. So here we have little Keisha. Keisha is one of the first little girl that we followed, because when I ended up there, I really wanted to tell the story, but not the dark side of the story, because I always believe, you know, you can also raise awareness by telling the beauty in adversity. That makes sense?
You want to highlight characters.
Yes, but I saw something incredible in those kids. It's like I met them and I saw the conditions in which they were living, that I'll detail a little bit later, but most than anything else, I saw them so pure and happy and beautiful.
Happy, you said, yeah.
And it broke my heart. And they live in trash. So this is like her house is at the back. These days it's not bad, but what happens is like a lot of she's grown up by your grandparents. So they are a bit too old to go on the trash mountain. So they're asking the trucks to bring the trash in front of their house. So every single morning, little Keisha has to push her doors with the trash and go over she's living in trash. It's just madness.
But like you said, Michael, I mean, you've seen a sense of empathy, you've seen resilience in this community, you've seen qualities, human qualities and human characters.
Incredible. These people are heroes.
Like, you call them heroes?
Oh, yeah. Yes. The work condition they have to feed their kids, the sacrifice they do on their own body, you have to understand that they don't have water to wash, and they are all day long in trash. Imagine when it rains. They have trash that can go up to over their knees.
And they are not begging, they are not, they are not living in mental misery that much. You find an energy in the community. Yeah. And a living energy.
Unless specific days where it's particularly harsh, for example, when it rains, but they are usually super happy, especially when we met the parents, we always bring them food or treats. For example, I'm always trying to bring them fruits. They never eat fruits, ever. So for them, eating a banana is like something like if you gave them, I don't know, like an incredible gift, right?
It's a treat, yeah.
So they usually, and they know us. So that's the thing, we've been going there for so many years, right? Almost 3 years. So, and when I was saying I also, of course, include the charities like, so this
Ragam.
is Ragam, Bali Life Foundation. They were there before me as well.
We talk about Bali Life Foundation,
yes,
right? Bali
yes.
Life Foundation.
Yes.
Remind us their main mission, Bali Life Foundation.
Right. Yeah. Yes. So Bali Life Foundation is the reason why we don't have any more of those kids. Almost none left. We have now about 5 to 10 kids who are still every day up the mountain, and most of them are not picking trash. They are mostly to stay with their parents, right? So they're under kind of shelter there. They play in the trash. But we have about 100 kids that every day, thanks to Bali Life, go to a foundation that has been built in the middle of the slum, and they have daycare and basic education.
While the parents are working, the kids are sheltered.
So this is already a miracle, right? They already managed to get those kids not to actually be in trash all day, or to separate trash, because before some of the kids were not necessarily picking, but they were after separating this and this, and now they are like, they have basic education, games, and I'll detail a bit more if we have time. Also, that's what we want to push, to have even more of that. So one day these children will have a choice. If they want to become trash pickers like their parents, fine, but they have the choice. You see what I mean?
You open up opportunities for change.
Yes.
You open up, you empower those kids for change.
Yes.
You want to continue
showing
a few images?
Let's few images. So this is like the one on the left. You see a little bit. That one is really well equipped, and they're originally not that greatly equipped, but she has this kind of little metal stick that allows us not to have to bend ourselves. You have to imagine like doing that all day long for 16 hours with the sun, especially they are higher. This is insane. When I stay like 30 minutes there, I'm like almost, the heat. I have no idea how they deal with this. Yeah. And of course the smell. If it's been raining, you're walking in a mud of trash. There's flies everywhere. It's sanity. And this is on the right, little Eggy, the ones you saw before.
Eggy.
Is absolutely adorable.
So you know them one by one?
I know them one by one, and I want a lot of people to know them one by one. I want to place a name on them.
Yes.
I want to tell their story. I want to know their dreams, and I'll tell you what they want to become. Like he wants to become a mechanic, and I'll tell you it's making me very emotional also about that.
So
because one day he found a little car in the trash that has the broken wheels, and he fixed it. And then parents say, "Oh, it's really nice, mechanics do that. I want to be a mechanic." It's such a beautiful story, right?
So Michael, you can feel the characters, you can feel the future potential to become artists, to become entrepreneur, to become sportsmen or women. You can feel different identities, different characters.
Yes, and they are so bright because those children haven't been contaminated by the real contamination, which for me is not trash for children, but more like this old screen and social media and becoming robots. 15 they are pure. They've never had a screen. They never seen a TV, but they have each other. So they are really back into what a child should be all about.
The offline friendship.
Yes, but that means that each time you're going to start and do activities with them, they're going to be so excited and so creative and so...
So the response... There is an enthusiasm.
Oh, God, it's insane.
You've been welcomed favorably. I mean, arriving with Ragam, Bali Life Foundation. When you enter this community, the response was favorable.
Yeah, I mean, Bali Life Foundation has been there for 7 years. And they are local. They're Indonesians.
Yeah.
So they've been establishing a presence. They've been already helping many children. Bali Life is not doing only this community. They have thousands of children. They have orphanages. They are doing
all around the island. They provide.
I mean, mostly like Uluwatu and around there, but they are developing like
building
schools, mostly about education, right? To really change those people's lives. And Ragam has been for over 3 years now. And for us, as our collective of artists, because we've been also bringing awareness with the work of, for example, Ragam, etc. We've been welcome because we were with them, but also each time trying to bring something. And we have a few projects that I'll also present you, but
Sure.
yeah, we've been doing that for almost 3 years. So
3 years already.
in this community, yeah.
You told me the other day about gardens. You
Yes.
have the ambition to get the kids and their mother to grow their own.
Yes, so that's
their own food.
Let's come to the exciting part after the whole harshness of this. So yeah, let's have a look at a few more slides.
Okay.
Oh,
The fires.
do you want to talk about that? It's already heavy, yeah. Living conditions we already mentioned, but
Yeah.
but I want to show you a few of them, right? Look, so this is little Kezia, like the little guy I told you about in the middle there. Like we have the two twins, Dedek and Mimin.
Agus.
Agus, exactly, and Anga, right?
You can see light in their eyes. You can see.
Yeah, I mean, these ones are not the happiest photos. I have some where they're like really happy, you know, but yeah, next. So the charities we already mentioned. This is the foundation, the kids on the left, little Kezia learning mathematics at the foundation.
So the
soup kitchen. Another interesting point, maybe that's a bit linked with the water thing, right? So the water is contaminated. We're going to try to bring clean water there, which I think
through tanks, through
food tanks. That's the only way. Even the pipes are impossible. It's just so contaminated, nothing just works. We've been trying to do everything.
So there's no other solution than tanks.
Tanks and bringing it by trucks. For now.
No.
For now.
Okay.
But we're not going to be able to put showers, but at least a place where they can clean their face with water that is not contaminated.
What about healthcare?
Look, little lady is clean. Do you see the water? I mean, we don't really see that, but it's filled with trash. And that's how it cleans. It's just madness.
So how you collective, I mean, Ragam, Bali Life, Plastic Angels, what can you bring in terms of basic healthcare? How about the health conditions of these communities? I mean,
So I always, you know, I'm not an expert in that, but I've seen many of them sick regularly, for sure. So one of the main problems is, of course, the environment where they live, which is a constant infection, right? But also their alimentation.
But they
mostly eat white rice.
Only.
Although, well, thanks to Nick, they now have bunkus for lunch every day.
Thanks to Ragam.
So there's more nutrients, you know, like tempeh, vegetables and stuff. But I observe, for example, their teeth, because a good way to know the health of anybody or a child or anybody. And something that I observe is, like, for example, some of them have very small teeth that didn't grow at all. And I think that's a very good sign that they lack a lot of calcium, right?
A lot of calcium, yeah, that's
many of them have totally rotten teeth, like completely black. This is because they drink a lot of sugar. You know, like these things you buy in the tacos,
sachets,
like this sachet filled with sugar. I don't know what they call that. That's what they don't drink water.
Contributing so much to plastic pollution issues here in Bali.
So they mostly drink that, right? So they teeth completely rotten, and of course, you know, peaks of blood levels with the sugar, insanity. And
so healthcare is.
Yeah, I mean, Bali Life Foundation has been regularly doing checkups, etc. But as long as there's not like a proper, I would say, empowerment of the mother, you know, and that's also something we are trying to put in place with our gardens that I'll show you right after that.
Tell us about, they go to schools? I mean,
they go to public school in the morning.
They go to public schools?
Yeah, and after they go to Bali Life
All
Foundation.
the kids go to primary school?
Not all of them, no. But a majority of them. I would say a majority of the youngest one, 4 to 12, which are being taken care of. But there's still a few.
This is the age group that you care the most. I mean,
yes. That's the ones that are going to the foundation. Yeah.
Primary school.
Right.
Kids.
So now here come the exciting part.
Sure.
So we have been able, because we, and I'll be very quick because it's such a large project, we have to focus, right? But I'll tell you quickly how we raise funds, right? But first, I'll tell you how we plan to actually, hopefully, be able to to act on those materials we've been talking of, right? We have rented a piece of land that you can see right here. This is in the middle of the slum, and actually we've cleaned it up now, and we're going to build some gardens. The idea is to get them to learn to grow their own food.
To grow their own food?
Yes,
okay.
exactly. And we will also create a cultural center with a mini kitchen.
Okay.
We are going to use
free access for the community to cook.
Mostly the mothers and our group of kids, right? So
okay.
The idea is like to put in place a program of breakfasts where we can fit a lot of good stuff, right? So do smoothies, green smoothies, do some omelets with a lot of stuff that is still, because you know, like in Indonesia, if people don't eat rice, they think it's not a dinner. But if it's a breakfast, we can maybe sneak a few good things there, right?
Kalau nggak makan nasi belum makan dong. Gitu. No, okay. So I mean, we're talking about all these things, fantastic innovation, and then we know you have a background in. You're talking about your background as an artist.
Yes.
Okay. And what did you want to bring with you? You said you want to bring art classes. You have engaged a community of artists. We need to talk about that now.
Yes, let's talk about that. So now the big question mark is like, oh, those ideas are beautiful, but how do you fund it?
How do you fund?
How do you fund this stuff, right? We have 100 kids, and
how do you help the foundation?
Yeah, and we also want to assist Ragam to be sure they can maintain the kitchen, right? We have different levels of priorities. The priorities make sure they have the basic feeding, which is at least this lunch that comes every day. Then hopefully extend it to the breakfast. Maybe why not dinner after? You know, like, and then we move to the next legs, which is bringing clean water, some little form of education. But what was very interesting is like, I'm an artist. I've been to art school, and there's this whole kind of plastic thing around that, right? And because while I was going all around the island seeing poverty, I also saw pollution, right? So my idea is like, maybe we can actually do something with both. That means raise awareness of the plastic pollution problem and help those kids at the same time. And when I had all of this in my mind and met those kids, I got back home and actually I had a dream, and I saw like the kids like angels flying over the landfill. And that's then, okay, plastic angels, that's it. And we created the first artwork, which is the first artwork that you saw, that you can insert later, yeah. The first artwork with little Kezia, where she was with angel wings made of flip-flops, right? And that's how the first artwork, this is a big, this is like almost 3 meters high.
Yeah, we remember this beautiful work.
And then we created that in collaboration with two fantastic artists, which are Quint and Lina Klaus, who did
the street artists.
Street artists, who's done hundreds of murals around Bali.
The Lina Klaus for the outdoor installations.
Potato head roof made of flip-flops as well, and outdoor, yeah.
And upcycle, the concept is upcycling plastic waste.
Yes.
And upcycling waste, incorporating this into artworks, right?
Yes. So we have about 15 artworks now with a collective of almost 20 artists, so international artists and local artists. We have roughly half who are Indonesians and Balinese, which was always very important for me, right?
Time is running, Michael, already. We could talk about that for hours.
Yes, for sure.
You've been doing great events, yeah? Last year you were at the Alila.
Yes.
Alila Seminyak, you've been doing a great event. You were happy about the response of the Bali community.
Yeah.
You were happy about the funds that you could raise to continue this collective. What about yesterday? You were at the Potato Head and it was successful too, yeah?
Yeah. Bali is a place that has so much resources. There are so many
human resources, talents, competencies.
Yeah, wealth, you know, it's all there. And there are so many people who came here with a good heart.
From all over the world.
From all over the world, who's been called by the island and after have a call to give back to the island and don't really know how. And that's also something that I felt. It's like, okay, if I can show them something beautiful, they will maybe resonate with that and join the collective. That's Plastic Angel is a collective effort.
That's a collective effort,
yes.
Michael. That's a very generous effort. Time's up. We'd like
Yeah.
to continue to get in touch. The Bali Ocean Days communities is going to support, it's going to help you as much as we can. Okay, let's collaborate. Let's engage. You need fundraising, you need sponsors, you need donors. So let's log in, let's be with you for the continuing operation in the years to come. Thank you very much for your generous...
One quick thing.
You want to make a conclusion, a short conclusion?
No, I just want to show, because there is one call to action that people can do, right? So come back.
Okay. I mean,
Come back. Well, yeah. So actually, if any of you resonate with you, we have an event that's going to be reproduced that is totally in phase also with the fantastic work of Bali Ocean Days. We're going to start beach cleanups with the kids from the community of Suwon, but also the kids from all the big schools around Bali.
Okay, so you're gonna make the kids from all the schools.
Yes.
To meet the Suwon community.
Yes.
To be aware about this hidden poverty, but to be aware about this energy.
And
the
plastic
street smart
pollution,
energy,
of course.
Yeah. Of course.
And we're going to create arts with all of the plastic we're going to gather. So we're going to partner with Lina again. Like you can see here, this is what she does with the flip-flops that we find. The kids are going to be at the center. We're going to film it with drones. It's going to be amazing. And so far, the response has been great. If you're going to go next slide. I've been to each one of these schools. Back one, yeah. Green School, Canggu Community School, etc. And also the French school has been amazing.
School,
yeah.
Bali International School, Green
right.
School, they cooperate with you. You guys work together.
Yes, I've been to
fantastic
to present the things in the classroom. The kids are excited, and I'm talking about the kids that are lucky, right? The wealthy ones. They are excited to come, pick plastic. We're going to create art all together, and we're going to maybe, hopefully, change those kids' life, right?
That's a fantastic social inclusion project. You move the lines. Thank you so much. Keep going. Keep the fight. We are with you. Thank you, Michael. Bye-bye.
Thank you for inviting me.